Thanks for tuning in to Jay All Day, everyone. Week 9 of the NFL. Let's get into the picks. In week 8, we were 11-4. So if you're doing parlays, this is the channel you guys want to subscribe to. All right, let's break it down. The Chiefs and Miami Dolphins are playing in Germany. This is Tyreek Hill's first big redemption game. He has been talking all week how he wants to blow the doors off the Chiefs. I think he goes out and has a really big game. Kansas City is coming off that terrible loss to the Denver Broncos. Miami beat up on a terrible Patriots team. They got back on track after losing to the Eagles the week before. I think Miami wins this game, guys. I don't think Kansas City's defense is very good, and Tyreek Hill is going to be playing his ass off. I'm not a huge believer in the Chiefs. If you can lose to the Denver Broncos, you can lose to anybody. They should be ashamed of that performance. I'm going Miami 27-20. Then we move on to the Rams at the Packers. The Rams got blown out by Dallas last week, and Green Bay lost bad to Minnesota. The Rams haven't looked right. Matt Stafford is hurt again for the 4 millionth time. This is Green Bay's worst start to a season since 2005. And the Rams have played back-to-back road games, so that's going to play into this a little bit. I think the Rams are the better team. If Matt Stafford is healthy, I like the Rams here. Even though they're playing in Green Bay, it's not going to be too cold in the high 40s. I like the Rams here 21-17. Next on, we go to Minnesota, traveling to Atlanta to play the Falcons. Tyler Heinicke, the career journeyman, is getting the start for Atlanta at the quarterback position. Desmond Ridder has been benched. Tyler Heinicke for his career, 35 touchdowns, 24 interceptions. He's mediocre at best. And then we have Jordan Hall, the BYU rookie, who is going to be starting at quarterback for Minnesota because Kirk Cousins blew out his ACL. He is done for the year. Minnesota beat Green Bay last week 24-10, and Atlanta lost to Tennessee 23-28. Man, this is a pick-em game. I don't know who's going to win this game. I think Minnesota has the better roster, so I'm rolling the dice. I'm going with the BYU rookie against Taylor Heinicke and Atlanta. I like Minnesota. Low-scoring game, 17-14. Then we move on to the Commanders at the Patriots. This is two terrible teams. Washington blew it up. Chase Young, Montez Sweat got shipped out of town. Man, their offense is so bad, and their defense is even worse. Washington is giving up 28.5 points per game, giving up 374 yards per game. Their defense sucks. I think Bill Belichick can do enough to beat this terrible Washington team. Even though Sam Howell has not looked completely incapable at the quarterback position, he played really well against the Eagles. So I'm going to go with New England. Another low-scoring game, 13-10 New England. Then we move on to Seahawks playing at the Baltimore Ravens to travel across the country and beat the Baltimore Ravens. That's going to be an uphill task. Baltimore currently 5.5-point favorites. They beat Arizona barely 31-24, and the Seahawks beat Cleveland 24-20. Seattle's defense has looked great the past 4 weeks. 21 sacks, only 4.1 yards per play allowed, which is good enough for first in the NFL. But the league's best defense is the Baltimore Ravens. They're only giving up 15 points a game, only giving up 8 plays of 25 yards or more, and they sacked the quarterback 31 times. This defense is really good. I like Baltimore. I think this is going to be another close game, 21-20 Baltimore. Next up, we have a terrible Bears team traveling to New Orleans. I like the Saints here. Chicago lost to the Chargers 13-30 last week. Tyson Bagent is starting at the quarterback position. He's Bush League. The Saints have a pretty good defense. Derek Carr looked better last week, but remember, it was against a terrible Indianapolis Colts defense. They're like ranked 30th or something. Their defense is hot garbage. I'm not a big fan of Derek Carr, but I think he's good enough to beat this terrible Bears team. I'm going 23-20 New Orleans. Let's move on to the Buccaneers at the Texans. Two terrible teams. They're both 3-4, but they're both a terrible 3-4. If Tampa Bay cannot beat Houston, their chances of making the playoffs are pretty much over. They're on a 3-game skid. It's do or die. During this 3-game skid, 12.3 points per game. That's not going to get it done. Baker Mayfield looks like hot garbage. Rookie C.J. Stroud is good. They did lose to Carolina last week, and that's pretty pathetic because Carolina sucks huge donkey balls. Will the extra time help them? Tampa Bay, they played last Thursday. We'll see what happens. I think Tampa Bay narrowly wins this game 17-14. Let's move on to the Cardinals at the Browns. The Cardinals are terrible. They're 1-7. The Browns are 4-3. They have a really, really good defense. They're 8-point favorites. I like the Browns to get the W here for sure. 23-10. Cleveland Browns get the W. Then we have another game of two Bush League teams. The Colts play the Panthers, who got their first win of the season last week against the Texans. Whew, Bryce Young has not looked good. Neither has Miles Sanders. They got him in free agency. Gardner Minshew, I like him when he plays well, but he doesn't play well a lot. He's fun to watch when he's playing well, but he's not very good. The Colts have a terrible defense. Screw it, guys. I'm going the Panthers to win this game by upset. They're getting 2.5 points. I like the Panthers 21-10. And then we move on to the best game of the week by far, the Cowboys at the Eagles. I'm going with the upset, guys. I like the Cowboys to win this game on the road. Dak Prescott has been unbelievable against the Eagles in his career. It's actually insane how unbelievably good he's been. 7-1, 72% completion percentage, 17-4 touchdown to interception ratio, almost 300 yards per game passing. Woo! And the Eagles defense absolutely blows. The Eagles defense is absolute hot garbage. James Bradbury, Darius Slay, are you going to show up this season? Are you guys cooked? Because they've looked terrible. They can't cover people. They can't tackle. Sean Desai is a terrible defensive coordinator. I like the Cowboys 27-24. And then we have another game of two Bush League teams, the Giants at the Raiders. The Raiders are blowing it up too, man. They fired their coaching staff. McDaniels is out, dude. Peace out, McDaniels. They hate him there. He's been terrible. Aiden O'Connell is getting the start at quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo, the bum Garoppolo, got benched. And then we have Daniel Jones coming back. I like the Giants on the road here, guys. It's going to be a horrible football game to watch, but I like them 17-14 to get the W. Then we move on to Sunday Night Football. We got the Bills at the Bengals. The Bengals had a big upset win against the 49ers. I called that shit, guys. I knew the Bengals were going to win. Burrow looks finally like himself again. I think they beat the Bills, man. I really do. The Bills struggle on the road. They're 5-3 this year. Cincinnati is 2-point favorites for a reason. So I like this game to be high scoring, bad defensive play. The Bills secondary is banged up. I think Joe Burrow goes off this week, guys. 28-27 Bengals. Our final game of the week is the Chargers at the Jets. The Jets have been pretty good as of late, guys. They have been turning their season around, followed by that killer defense they have. Their defense is epic, man. They're really, really good. They force a lot of turnovers. They play well down the stretch. They're really good against teams on third down. But I don't believe in Zach Wilson. He's not very good. I think the Chargers and Justin Herbert snap that winning streak at the Jets and get the W on the road, 24-21 Chargers. All right, that wraps up week 9, guys. I hope we do as good as we did last week with our 11-4 run. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. I appreciate you guys. Go win some money this week. Peace.